The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Alongside Carson-Newman women's basketball coach Mike Mincey, I'm Michael Watching on SeeingEagles.com. The Lady Eagles picked 4th in the preseason SAC coaches poll. And, Coach, last year you were 5th, 3 first-place votes. This year, 4th, no first-place votes, but still high expectations for a group last year that finished tied for 7th in the league. What are your expectations, and how do you manage those expectations this season?
Well, you know, the last couple of years on paper, we felt like that we were pretty good, and probably starting with me and then on down to the players, I think we had really high expectations and probably got a little ahead of ourselves, especially the way we started the season. And then when we ended the season last year, we told ourselves, you know, we're only going to take it day by day, and, you know, it's nice to be picked 4th and to be in the top third of your league. You know, credit to the kids and the players that we have, but at the same time, you know, I'm sure every coach in the league is going to feel this way, that it's a preseason ranking. It really doesn't mean a whole lot. Everybody's going to want to finish up in that top 4 at the end of the year.
Kaylin Brooks was named first-team preseason all-conference. And, Coach, you have a senior like that in Kaylin Brooks that, coming off of a breakout season a year ago, 13.8 points, can really do a lot of different things for you. How do you see her role in this senior year?
Well, you know, she's going to be a leader off the floor first and foremost, and we've got a lot of great leaders in our locker room. But, you know, Brooks is all in. She's behind me. She's behind Coach Bergstrom and our coaching staff. And, you know, she's just been a real positive person for our program over the last 3 years, and then certainly going into this year. And then, you know, you get on the floor and, you know, she's one of the best three-point shooters in our league. Well, she was, percentage-wise, the best three-point shooter in our league last year. And, you know, she had some really big games last year. I think she had a small stretch there where she, you know, couldn't put the threes in, and that's what kept her from breaking the Coach Tipton's single-season three-point record. But, you know, she's just a great person and the type of person that I like having in our program. And so I really hope for her that she has a big year, you know, individually, but I know for her the most important thing is that we do a good job as a team.
We talked about it last night at North Carolina. You can go about 11, 12 deep with this year's team. How do you manage that as a coach, knowing that you have so many different players that it really is a true team effort every night?
Well, I mean, that's always the hardest thing. I mean, you know, I probably need to read books and all that kind of stuff to see how people do that. But we even had a conversation last night in the locker room after the Carolina game that, you know, if you're going to play for this team and play for this program the way we've recruited and the type of player that we have, you know, you're not going to play 38 minutes a game. It's just not going to happen. We have 10 or 11, potentially 12 players that all deserve to play. And like we talked about last night in our post-game interview, there's really no drop-off when you go from the first 5 to the second 5, or if you want to intermingle them together. And so I think when you look at some of the teams in our league that have been successful, last year you look at Wingate and Anderson in particular, you know, they could go about 10 deep. And I think it really helps late January and February with legs and just trying to be fresh when you haven't had to just play that point guard or that post player 35, 34 minutes a game. And so I don't know how many minutes, like say a Brooks is going to get or a Jekka or whatever, but I don't think they're going to have to play 30-plus minutes a game for us to be successful. I think we can spread those minutes around and try to keep people healthy and fresh.
Another thing we chatted a little bit about last night is you have 11 players on your active roster that played college basketball last season. Tori Griffin, the only person that doesn't have that experience. How does that maturity help at the beginning of the season like this, where there are some expectations on you to have a better year than last year?
You know, when you have that kind of experience, obviously it's great for the coach, and I've seen that in our one scrimmage and certainly at our game against Carolina that I can put them in things and then they can make plays out of it just because they're smart, they've got the experience, and they're good basketball players. And sometimes they kind of make me look good just by some of the stuff they do, but it's really not coming from me. It's just the fact that they work well together and they're good basketball players, and they can. We call it fix-it situations. You know, you get in those in basketball, and they're able to fix those situations, whether it be out of a press or defensively. And so it's just nice having those people. And even Tori, you know, I know she's only a freshman, and she doesn't have that college experience, but, wow, you know, the way she's played in our scrimmage and at Carolina, I mean, she's almost playing, you know, like toward the end of her freshman year, even start of your sophomore year. So, a lot of experience. You know, the expectations are what they are. We know that we've kind of failed the last 2 years, even though we've won, 37 games. We know that it could be better, and all we're shooting for and hoping for is that we stay healthy. I think if we can stay healthy and get to play with all of our players toward the end of the year, I think I think we can do better and go much further.
Coach, really appreciate the time. We'll talk to you again on Monday.
All right, thank you.
He's Carson-Newman women's basketball coach Mike Mincey. I'm Michael Watchering on SeeingEagles.com.